Oh, hello there, Site-42 staff as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. And welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site-42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for over a year and 4 months and counting, because that is right, the daily stream streak remains strong. I'm here to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. Either way, we are here for the next 60 to 90 minutes, depending on stream energy, for today's coffee break. But before we begin, a little bit of housekeeping. First and foremost, today's stream is sponsored by Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie, who has come to say hello and bring her adorable sweetie pumpkinness to the joy of the Containment Hazard Assessment team. Now, before we let her run away, we will give her a delightful treat on behalf of the chat. And some of you members, you green names, you might find a little present in your custom member emotes. I'm just saying. Courtesy of Memori, there is now a Charlie emote. The Puppy of Interest 42 is represented now in our member emotes. Those of you who wish to drop some Charlies on the chat, this is your sign to become a member of Site-42 here on YouTube. Now, housekeeping before today's stream subject and general Q&A. Sleepless Dragon, congratulations on being the #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e. congratulations on being first chatter. Alongside you, Legendary Doge, Kitty Fly, Amber, Dr. A Mask, Philip November, Senior Researcher Alex, Memori, 369 Destroyer. Everyone who I've just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here as members of Site-42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, interns, Zinkz, Brooks, New Philosopher, Indigo, Rosemary, Diet Coke, Minty Andrea, Malachi, Froggy, Oswald, and Taylor Welcome to today's stream, interns. Thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here today, just for being you. Now, today's stream subject. Yesterday, we spoke of SCP-8972, an anomaly where the cold, not cruel reputation of the Foundation certainly got a little bit of a test, a little pushing the boundaries of what is actually not cruel, I might say. But furthermore, sometimes we at the SCP Foundation, our researchers, make things worse completely by accident. Not that we did some sort of evil test, just because one wrong move. And today, that brings us to discussing an anomaly, codename Feeding the Trolls, aka designation SCP-8999. SCP-8999, Object Class Euclid, Disruption Class Eki, Risk Class Danger. This unprofessional sketch is due to it being a group portrait drawn by the SCP-8999s. We cannot get actual photographs of the entities, but they did send us a self-portrait to say hello. Now, as a quick summary, these are apparently quote-unquote trolls that live underneath a church in Sweden. The pastor there spent their time feeding the trolls using a modified dumbwaiter lift system, an elevator so to speak, that it would use to drop food down to the trolls. When the trolls are not pleased with their food, they have a degree of control over seismic activity and can cause tremors up to 7.0 on the Richter scale. So dissatisfaction with their meals can be a threat of a breach of secrecy. We discovered this after the pastor died and their child failed to feed the trolls, leading us to finding out what was going on. And so then we started trying to communicate with the trolls. They sent us this photo, a little sad face, because they did not like the kebab and the pizza that the new tenant was feeding them. So then we tried to figure out what the hell they wanted. And they only communicate through pictograms. So no words, only pictures. Question mark from the Foundation. Hungry from the 8999s. What are you hungry for? What is that? That's not helpful, trolls. We don't understand. Question mark from the Foundation. They want to know about the pastor. We say there is no pastor. The trolls are questioning why. The pastor died. Sad trolls. Sad Foundation. Feed us, feed us, feed us, feed us. Question mark what? Feed us blank. Now, we thought it was eggplants, and so we tried sending eggplants, and they did not like the eggplants. We got rewarded with an earthquake for that. So we sent them new pictures, trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about. They sent us same picture, frustrating us. What do you want to eat, we asked. Same picture. We don't have that. Sad trolls. What do you want to eat? Square? What do you trolls mean? Square? I don't understand. No one at the Foundation understands. There were more seismic earthquakes. They eventually sent us a sad face troll picture. Why are you sad? We want to eat. We don't have whatever that was. We don't have whatever that square was. Do you have triangle? Triangle is not a food. We do not have that either. We sent more food pictures. They did not like any of those. We got bigger, more earthquakes. They sent us sad picture. They sent us thing we don't know what is. They sent us thing we don't know what is. They sent us 553 repeated communications of the thing we don't know what it is. Then they sent us the angry troll. Fear, the angry troll. Dr. Pirelli, one of our researchers, decided to try to go down the lift to communicate with them face to face, because obviously this pictographic work was not functioning. Due to the amount and intensity of earthquakes, we finally allowed this. Dr. Pirelli's communications cut off shortly after his descent. The 8999 stopped talking to us for a couple days as well. But they finally reopened communications. Happy troll. Okay, that's good. Foundation, why are you happy? Trolls. Big happy. Much happier than previous happy. Big happy. Then they sent us a picture. Then they sent us a picture. Then they sent us another picture. Then they sent us another picture. Then they sent us a final picture. Rip Dr. Pirelli. And I guess it's time to start requisitioning some D classes. So, once again, we didn't intentionally do the wrong thing, but we definitely did the wrong thing this time. Okay, but what was the food they originally wanted? Intern alien mint, the world may never know. But you know what? We can stop the earthquakes now. We just need a steady supply of D-Class. It's fine. It seems a D-Class keeps the whole cadre of trolls fed for about 3 days. So we need just a D-Class. We need a requisition of approximately 10 D-Class a month. It'll be fine. Also, if you enjoyed SCP-8999, codename Feeding the Trolls, by SCP author J. Dune, head to the SCP database and give that story an update. Participate in the community if you are a wiki member. I've already given this my update because I did find the trolls to be quite charming despite their human-eating tendencies. And that is today's stream subject. Now, I will say we do have one more sponsor I want you to pay attention to. Dark Math Films of SCP Academy here on YouTube starts their Kickstarter tomorrow for their second episode. They have their pre-order Kickstarter page up and running, and that includes some photographs of the sweet, sweet merchandise that you can get as a reward for said Kickstarter. If you join the SCP Academy Episode 2 Kickstarter for a live-action SCP short film, you might be able to get a hold of some sweet, sweet SCP Academy swag. Oh, who's that little guy in the background there? Very charmingly handsome, I see. So you could be getting yourself the box set of SCP-096 plus SCP Academy. Reminder, Dark Math Films helped out Mr. Clay on the SCP-096 short film as well. There is the Dark Math Films Creative Commons legal micro SD that contains 096 and the episode 1 of Academy, because of DRM and Creative Commons, you can't just send a Blu-ray because those have copy protection. So this is a Creative Commons legal version. You can also get an SCP-8999 mini bust. Is that pictured in the other one so we can see its size by comparison? No, it's not. So I don't know how big it is. We're just going to have to guess. But it does look very sharp. There's also the SCP Foundation beanie. I think this is the outer case of that micro SD. No, because that's tiny. Oh, so it is a DVD case. It's a DVD case, but it contains a tiny little guy. So if you want some of those sweet, sweet rewards, you have to donate to the Kickstarter, which opens tomorrow. Be prepared, Site-42 staff. And especially members of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. If we want live-action SCP films, then this is the way we do it. Thank you for your service. Alright, I am returning to the chat, where I will read the donations that have come in during our intro and stream subject, and then we will have general Q&A for the remainder of stream, which, as I mentioned, will be 45 minutes to 75 minutes, depending on stream energy. Returning to the chat. Philip November, thank you for your 8 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Drop the pen. I'm sorry I can't do that. I never have dropped the pen, and I never will. It's just an impossibility. Dr. A. Mask, thank you for your 11 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and service. Don't drop the pen. I won't, thank you. Also, hi there, Doc. Well, hello to you, Dr. A. Mask. Yusavar, thank you for starting the stream by sending them 5 stars, making them a 5-star team. Congratulations, chat, on your achievement. Oswald, thank you for sending a treat to the chat. I am sure they will enjoy the nom nom. Shadow Knight, thank you for becoming a Mobile Task Force captain here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Enjoy your custom emotes. Intern Bowley, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please grab yourself some Chex Mix on your way past the commissary. You have to let one escape the Foundation because there's no more containment cells. SCP-4666, SCP-001, and SCP-2317. So, here's the problem. You've got a little backwards there. SCP-4666 is not in containment in the first place. It is a teleporter. It is always on the loose. It is always hunting. You should be aware. So, that's the one that's out. We're fine. Gamer Alex, thank you for your 1 month as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service. It's possible that it was a picture of grains. Oh, you think that's what the trolls were eating? Grains. But just a tiny little grain? Possible. Hybrid Gamer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a cactus juice on your way past the commissary. Sorry that the council is late. Hello, Doc. Well, I do believe you will successfully contain the lot of them. Thank you for bringing them in bit by bit. Continue to do so. We're making progress. Dacia, good to see you in the chat, friendo. I wonder how many SCPs are wandering about instead of in containment. Oh, I can answer that for you at least, possibly. You see, on the SCP database, if I come down to the bottom of the page, we'll see the tags. And within the tags Each object class has a tag, Euclid. Now, I can't tell you how many ketters are on the loose, because a ketter could be in containment very difficultly, or it could be in containment, just very hard to contain. But I could go to the U's and look for uncontained. On the SCP database, at the very least, there are 877 anomalies tagged as uncontained. That is nearly 1,000. That is nearly 10% of our database entries that are outside of containment. That's actually way more than I thought it was. I did not expect nearly 1,000 out of 10,000 SCPs to be uncontained. That is too many. Honestly, staff, we need to do better. We need to figure out how to get those in containment. Because that's not even counting. That's not even counting the Archons and the Ticonderogas, which are object classes specifically for uncontained anomalies that are not just uncontained, but uncontained for certain reasons. If I go to Archon, so take this down, 877 are uncontained. Archon. There are 75 Archon anomalies. So 877 plus 75, how many is that? While you're doing that math, I'm going down to Ticonderoga. Another 49. So 877 plus 75 plus 49. How many anomalies is that? Ticonderoga is the best one. Well, at the very least, I do find Ticonderoga very fun to say. So it is my favorite object class to say. It just rolls off the tongue. Ticonderoga. Saying that it has a good mouth feel. Ah, we're on the same page on that one. Very nice. I didn't even know you were going to say that. Gamer Alex, thank you for sending a doubloon to the chat. You saw nothing. I am sure they will appreciate the spending doubloon. Intern Zach, thank you for sending a star to the chat. You have reset them to a 1-star team. But at the very least, they have a prestige rank now. Philip November, thank you for your first super of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a tapioca pudding on the way past the commissary. Feed the trolls, do-do-do. Feed the trolls, do-do-do-do. Feed the trolls, do-do-do-do-do. Feed the trolls. I don't know what song you were doing, but I just did the song of my heart. And yes, we do have to feed the trolls of SCP-8999, otherwise they will breach secrecy with their big earthquakes. Hybrid Gamer, thank you for your 1 month as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service. You had that backwards. I am a council member. Well, yes, you are a council member double agenting for the Foundation, obviously. You've been here longer than the cults existed, after all. Professor Stewart, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some sassafras on the way past the commissary. Hello, Doctor. Hello to you, and very fine robe you have. Although you didn't put a character in the robe, it seems you're just left the robe on its own. It is very fashionable, so I understand not needing a character to wear it, just being it. Supreme Commander, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a beefed jerky on the way past the commissary. How would you contain a guy with pure void abilities? Well, can you elaborate on what a pure void ability is? I'm not exactly sure what that means in this context. Dr. A. Mask, thank you for donating again to say, is it 4666 or 4999 that sits at your deathbed? I think it's 4999. I like that one, brings comfort, not like I can perma-die anyways, sucks. Yes, SCP-4999 is the cigarette-smoking man who sits with you on your deathbed. Also a teleporter, also we can't contain that one. So 4666 and 4999, both of which we can't contain them. Frustrating, but similar. Rosemary. Nope, not yet. Not there yet. Gamer Alex, thank you for sending 5 sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will appreciate the delightful cleaning of glitter bombs they now need to do. King of Emojis, thank you for your first super of today's stream. Grab yourself a Royal Crowned Cola on your way past the commissary. What if an image of 055 was affected by SCP-5883? Well, I don't seem to remember SCP-5883 off the top of my head. Let me look into that real quick. SCP-5883. Anomalous internet meme. Meanwhile, in Australia, yes. The meme that makes everything opposite. From what I can gather, I would assume that that would make SCP-055 permanently ingrained in the forefront of your mind forever. You could never forget it. You're always thinking about it, which could be very frustrating indeed. Someone wants a community post of that green robe. Let me see if that's something I can do from the desktop here. First, I need to download the image. And now, can I make green council robe is the name. It goes into the downloads folder. And then we go to YouTube, create a post, image, select robe. The SCP Foundation has declared special containment protocols for the Council that has been invading social media comment sections. Foundation agents are instructed to reply to council member comments with, "You have been contained by the SCP Foundation. Dr. Sherman from Site 42 sends his regards." You may optionally change your profile picture to this Site 42 colored robe to show your allegiance. SCP logos, researcher, no, not plural. SCP logo, researcher, and mobile task force profile pictures are also acceptable. Get out there and contain those anomalous cultists. secure, contain, protect, and post. There you go. It is live. See y'all in 15 minutes while y'all update your profile pictures. Yeah, believe it, desk. How is the council anomalous? Well, Mythical Dragon, first and foremost, their head honcho is literally summoning lightning storms. So we do know that there is some anomalous, possibly thaumaturgical aspect of these cultists. Now, continuing to catch up on the donations. Rosemary, thank you for sending 2 stars to the chat to make them a 3-star team. And then Riley, thank you for sending 5 stars to make them a 3-star team again with a prestige rank. And then Oswald, thank you for sending a single star to give them a 4-star rating, as well as giving them a treat. Chat, enjoy your treat. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, I posted that to be seen as Baby Shark. Oh, I do see what you were cooking there now. Feed the trolls, do-do-do-do-do. Feed the trolls, do-do-do-do-do. Feed the trolls, do-do-do-do-do. The trolls. I think there are too many do's. I think that's why I got confused. Do-do-do-do-do. I think there's extra do's. Too much do. Much ado about nothing. Terragal, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself some corned beef and cabbage on your way past the commissary. I forgot my dimensional portal to my home dimension open. Are you... Yeah. It's closed now, but a Goliath parasite is somewhere in the site. They feed on energy. I'm looking, but they go invisible, too. Any ideas how to find it? A Goliath parasite. They feed on energy. So, how big is this parasite? I hear Goliath, I think it's rather large, but parasites are typically smaller. So tell me more details so I can get some containment procedures on hand. And then I can alert site security to be on the lookout. T-Rose, thank you for reminting your level 1 researchership here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Gamer Alex, thank you for donating again to say, I am a toaster. Please stop discussing me, SCP-426. I am very frustrating when it comes to especially text-based communications. And again, if you talk about me too much, you might start to think you are me, or at least a general toaster. And remember that in my documentation, there is a guy that definitely fucked a toaster. To death. His own death. People always forget about that part of it. New Philosopher, thank you for gifting 5 memberships to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. If you receive one of those promotions from New Philosopher, make sure to thank them for their generosity and enjoy your temporary access to very cool custom emotes. I see the green robes are returning from their profile picture updates. Good work. Join the council, Dr. Sherman. We could use someone like you. Well, intern Alice, everyone can use someone like me. I'm pretty great. But my loyalty is to the SCP Foundation, who will be currently on orders to contain council members. We will not have an anomalous cult out there running amok uncontained. So I prefer it if you, in fact, come to us and get in the box. Dr. Sherman, can we work with the resistance to the council? We need lots of help. Intern, got some. Yes. You may work with the Resistance. This is an enemy of my enemies is my friend scenario. So yes, the Resistance is trying to stop the Council. Sounds great. And if the Resistance proves to be anomalous, then we'll lock them up afterwards. Why Not Guitar? Thank you for your incredibly generous first donation to today's stream. We appreciate your help to the Site-42 budget. Please take the opportunity to head over to my personal Site-42 Drive-In Theater. It has the newest films that I have negotiated out of my contacts in Los Angeles so that we can watch the new films before they come out. In fact, due to a little bit of anomalous time travel fuckery, I'm able to get movies before they're finished. And so, please go enjoy Avengers Doomsday or Dune 3, your choice at your leisure. And thank you for your generosity. Good afternoon, we got a problem on the chop floor. Shy Guy is hanging out in the squad car and we can move him without getting a look at him due to the EMP effect of the car. Well, that's good that you can move it. Remember, it's an it, not a he. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols. All anomalies are its, not he's or she's. They're not people, they're objects. But yes, if you can move... you said, well, we can move it without getting a look due to the EMP effect of the car. That's great. If that's what you meant to type, then yes, move it. Get it back in containment. That would be fun, wonderful. Or help site security do it when they get to you. Sleepless Songbird, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please grab yourself a turducken on the way past the commissary. Hi, Dr. Sherman, would you mind speaking about the Fae today? Oh, those who live in the forest with no name, huh? And any interactions with the Foundation you could think of? I'm working on some background for a character, would appreciate this. So, the initial source you're going to for looking on information on those entities that shall remain nameless is SCP-4000. SCP-4000 is your starting documentation. Going beyond that, if you go to the tag at the bottom of SCP-4000, you will see a tag for the fairy folk. And so you will get a long litany of tales and SCPs that are including those folk. 102 different pages on the SCP database are regarding the Fae folk. My favorite of which, give me just a second to find it. I believe it's one of the SCPs in the 5000s. Let me just grab that real quick. No. Alright, not one of the 5s. Maybe it was one of the 6s. Oof, there are a lot more 6s. No. Oh! I don't know what that is, but I don't like it. A vaguely humanoid bipedal entity resembling the skeleton of an adult horse. Oh, I remember this entity. It keeps trying to sneak into one of our sites. Sorry. The photo is just kind of a jump scare. Ack. I was not expecting that. SCP-6596. Woof. Did not see that coming. Ugh. Continuing on my search for what I was actually searching for. Frickin' SCP documents, frickin' jump scares, wasn't expecting that. Alright, that's annoying. I'm gonna run a database search. Yes, that's why I couldn't find it. I believe it was actually I was wrong. This is actually from the Polish archive. This is a Polish SCP. SCP-PL-253. SCP-PL-253 is a restaurant serving fried chicken and its derivatives called Czestochowa Fried Chicken, located in Poland. PL-253 isn't anomalous itself, and all the products it serves are perfectly safe to eat. Testing of food purchased from this restaurant has not revealed the presence of any anomalous substances. The owner is a common Fae. Person of interest, PL-253, is friendly towards Foundation staff and has agreed to conceal his nature on the condition that he can continue his business. However, the entity was sued by Kentucky Fried Chicken on the grounds that the name of the premises resembled similarity to the company's trademark. So now this Fae folk is being sued by Kentucky Fried Chicken. Let's see what happened. Now, restricted per Protocol 4000 issue, object class Keter/Tiamat. Not yet determined how we're going to contain this. The object described is an American fried chicken restaurant chain founded by a businessman without the real rank of colonel. On October 27, 2021, the company from Kentucky and its original founder became a Type V nomenclative hazard, which now led to the ongoing KF class, KFC, very funny, nomenclative breakdown scenario. Worldwide amnesticization is considered as a means to neutralize the threat posed by the fast food chain serving chicken. As events develop, the documentation will be updated. KFC tried to sue a Fae folk chicken chain. And so the Fae folk stole all of its names. The name of the business, the name of the colonel, not a real colonel. Ridiculous. Yes, T-Rose, you are correct. Don't tangle with the Fae in the legal department! It's one of the classic blunders! So yes, SCP-PL-253 if you wish to run through that documentation yourself. I find that one very, very comical. Alright, the chat is replenishing since I've been gone on the database. Give it just a moment to reload. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, did you see that Chris Hansen went on to Fox News and Jesse Water showed moan about an NDA he signed because A24 is making primetime? It's a movie based on how to catch a predator. Yes, I am familiar with the situation to a certain point. I'm not actively observing it because, you know, no anomalies involved that I know of. But I am on the understanding that there is a certain backlash to certain views that Chris Hansen holds. A little bit chud-coded at times and a little bit mercenary about the work he does. Very much more sensationalism rather than doing it for the good of those involved. But I'm not too keyed in on the scenario. I've only heard whispers. Terragal, thank you for donating again to say. Cat-sized, red in color with black stripes can emit a small EMP that can short a human nervous system for a short time. Also, they attach to a human well. Mind control while draining them, so yeah, oof. Cat-sized. Well, it is cat-sized, which means that it is visible to the naked eye. So, security will not have a problem hunting that down. How would it hide when attached to a human? Because would it hide under their clothes? Would there be a bulge we could notice? Do not woe to that. Professor Stewart, thank you for donating again to say, slightly changed my PFP. I see, there's now something in the robe now. I can't exactly see what it is, thanks to how tiny they are. But it probably looks pretty cool. I am a green hooded SCP logo. Intern Kaboom, that is a great way to do it. A green hooded SCP logo, best of both worlds. Did you know Colonel Sanders was born in 1890 and opened his restaurant in 1939? Intern Leal, I did not know that. No. Why do we refer to contained SCPs as objects, but we refer to employees with anomalous abilities as people? Intern Nomad, because if they are loyal to the Foundation and helping us to contain other anomalies, we grant them their personhood back as a courtesy. That's all. If it's in a box, it's an it. If they prove their loyalty to the Foundation and help us in our work, they can be people. It is an arbitrary decision, but it's the one we made. Terragal, thank you for donating again to say, it goes invisible, that's how it hides. Well, that's annoying. Does it have a heat signature? Can we use thermal to find it? Clef and Sumerian are, in fact, SCPs that now work for the Foundation. Same rules applied for them. That's correct, Desk. Is D-Class an it? You know, I don't believe so, typically. Let's find an article that mentions D-Class. Let's go with 3307. I do believe there are 2 D-Class in Cornucopia Ass. Testing log. D14892 is equipped with a cellular phone modified to receive text messages. Was observed via security camera. Yes, I'm very solidly sure that in D-Class logs, we typically refer to them as he's and she's. D-Class are human beings, yes. Although we usually avoid the issue in general by referring to them as their D designation. Thank you, I don't know how to get onto the website. Well, SCP Wiki is the website. You can just Google that. SCP Wiki. Just make sure you go to the actual SCP Wiki and not the SCP Fandom Wiki. Don't trust the Fandom Wiki. Do we have a designation for the council? I don't like referring to it as not numbers. Mobile Task Force Council Catchers. Oh, not a bad Mobile Task Force team name. I like it. Now, the thing is, they are not on the SCP database, which means they cannot have a numerical designation. This is something we do here at Site-42 for anomalies we contain that are not canonically SCPs. So anything I react to in a video and I act as if it's an SCP even when it isn't, such as the floating hand spider, we call those SCP redacted. That way, we don't mix it up with actual canon SCPs. So unfortunately, we cannot give the Council a canon SCP designation number. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, how are there so many D-Class? There can't be that many murderers across the planet, right? Yes. Initially, in the universe of the SCP Foundation, we thought, oh, the D-Class must be death row inmates that we made a deal to get them out, even though we know they're not going to make it. But it was soon figured out that mathematically there's not that many death row inmates across the world. And so, maybe we get some prisoners with some less, still violent, but less fully murderous crimes. Maybe we pick up sexual deviants. Maybe we get some people who aren't prisoners at all. Maybe we pick up a few homeless people. Who's gonna miss them? Maybe there's some War orphans. They lost their parents. No one's going to miss them, so we can just have some war orphans, or as we like to call them colloquially, warphans. And they're great for testing anomalies that only affect children, such as SCP-956, the Child Breaker, or SCP-018-J, a perfectly normal trench coat worn by an adult. Free the warfins. Then Affleck, how are we going to test the child anomalies? Come on, did you think of that? Of course, there is, in fact, some universes where they have perfected cloning technology, and then they are cloning both adult and child D-class. Woohoo for them. Affleck, thank you for, I think, your first super of today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some Borg on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, how much worse is it if Dr. Gerald drunk drives? Because he is actively doing that. Send all available mobile task force and medevac. Dr. Gerald's driving is already SCP-666-J. It is already a very dangerous anomaly. That is when Dr. Gerald is in control of his faculties. I would rue the day that Dr. Gerald got behind the wheel after having a few. I feel like that in and of itself is an XK class end of the world scenario waiting to happen. Why can't we borrow the cloning tech? Well, intern Olive, you see, sometimes relations between the multiversal foundations can be a little testy. There is a wormhole SCP that we were able to communicate with a alternate universe foundation through. Unfortunately, some of the artifacts we sent them contained a common cold virus, which to their universe sterilized their entire planet's population, causing the end of their world essentially. But while they were still alive and kicking, they sure sent a bunch of anomalies, nanomachines, nuclear weapons, anomalous viruses through that wormhole trying to kill us right back. So, sharing is not always caring in the Foundation verse. If you want to read more about that, I'm going to go look up SCP Wormhole. That usually brings it up. Yes, SCP-1322, which has the unfortunate name Glory Hole. I don't know why you named it that, researchers. Phil November, thank you for donating again to say, can SCP-5004-B be closed and used as a D-class? The instant that we can get SCP-5004-B out of the White House for good, oh, the things I have planned for that motherfucker. Oh, you do not want to be living rent-free in my head when I get to have my way with you. Oh. And Site-17, they're going to catch some strays for putting that bastard as the President of the United States. This is their fault, too. Oh, cruel, not cold, right, Doc? You better fucking believe it, Desk. Professor Stewart, thank you for donating again to say, do we even have to slightly humanize the D-class? Aren't they basically just slaves? Hey, can we not use the S word, please? We're trying to keep up proper morale. Our good guy status is always rather tenuous. They are test subjects. They are research aides. That's what they are. You should make a live stream series reading SCP-914 tests until you finish them all. Omni Bandit. That would be days long. I mean, I don't have to do... You said a series. It could be several... It would then end up being weeks, depending on how long I did per stream. But, could be a fun gimmick. Could be a good stream streak. Could be some sort of donation goal thing where if you donate enough, I'll keep it going, but if you don't donate enough, then I'll stop it. Could be a community growth event. We could do sub goals or something. This is what streamers do, right? I'm just an SCP Foundation researcher. I'm learning the ways of streaming. Terragal, thank you for donating again to say. Oh, hold on, I found a mobile task force being controlled. I got this, just a heads up, this mobile task force might not have a memory after I detach the Goliath parasite, so he'll have to get retrained and have to get new memories. Well, medical is fairly cognizant of those uses, so just drop the victim off at medical once you get the detachment. Intern Diablos. Thank you for bringing this up, so I have an opportunity to bring it up yet again as a reminder to the people. A reminder that here at Site-42, as well as on the SCP database, because 99% of the SCP community is in agreement with this, we do not talk about Dr. Bright in any sense. Even in a, hey, we hate that guy, glad he's completely banned from the wiki and the community, we still do not talk about the character. We are silent on that subject in respect to the victims and to the community's ban of the creature, erased from consensus reality. One might consider that SCP-2165, codename Irredeemable, might be Dr. Bright in another universe. So yes, that anomaly, that character, does not exist. I'm missing that lore. Intern Trudell, we actually dropped a video short today that talks about this a little bit more and links to the 8-minute video where I explain a short summary of why we have that stance. It also has links to deeper evidence from another channel, a friend of the channel, Dr. Sumerian. So please look for a video on this channel called The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright if you want to know why we don't talk about Bruno. No, no, no. Desk has shared that video in the chat if you want to jump over to it and save it in your watch later. Professor Stewart, thank you for your 5 months as an overseer here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Right. Research helpers. Right. Research helpers. That's what D-Class are. Friendly research helpers. On a more positive note, will stream be early tomorrow in hopes of watching Dark Math films? Yes, Journey of Games, do expect stream to be earlier tomorrow to make sure that we can all head over to Dark Math Films at 6 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, which I do believe is 3 p.m. my time. So I will have to make sure to get all of the work I need to do done beforehand. That way I can be present for Dark Math Films. So in countries that have the death sentence, do you go for people with life sentences? Well, Intern Rocky, I am not privy to what those branches do because I'm in the good old US of A, so we have plenty of those here. But I'm certain that they have policies in their countries that match the resources they have access to. What the hell? I didn't even know that the author was bad, my fault. Intern Diablos, thank you for commenting that just so I can also say, because I forgot to say this, I'm glad you realize now we're not mad at you for bringing it up because the SCP fandom is so vast and most of the fandom does not actually visit the SCP wiki. So most of the SCP fandom doesn't know about this, which is why I have to bring it up every so often. So we're not mad at you. Thank you for taking the note and changing your behavior in coalition with the SCP community. We appreciate you actually. Have you ever been overseas? A new philosopher. The closest I've been to being overseas was a cruise to the Bahamas. So, not very far. Dr. Sherman, this is your not-so-friendly reminder that us at the Chaos Insurgency will help with the council problem. This is the one-time thing for you Foundation scum. Ah, yes. So happy to have you guys aboard. CI trash. That said, facing a threat this large, the enemy of my enemy is my friend for the time being. Is there an alternate universe where SCP-529 is the back half of a cat? I do believe, intern Pineapples, yes, that there are plenty of multiversal variants of Josie that are just the rear. How do I quit my job as a researcher without becoming a D-class? Intern Valerie. Retirement is always an option. Submit with HR. They will transfer you off of your projects, put you through amnestic treatment, rate your work effort and tenure here at the Foundation, and decide how you will be dropped into the real world. If you're someone like an overseer, someone who's done great work for the Foundation for a long time in a very high leadership position, you might be granted very high wealth, a retirement so you don't have to work anymore, and you will give memories of a good life that you have fulfilled and receive fulfillment from. If you were fired for detrimental purposes, maybe we'll just dump you on the street with no memory of who you are or what you did, which is honestly more than you deserve. Hypothetically, would I need to be contained as part of the Resistance or just the council members, Dr. Sherman? Intern Bubbleser. Intern Bubbles. The Resistance is a friend of the SCP Foundation in this fight against the Council. Now, once the Council is neutralized and contained, then we will have to look in at the Resistance and whether they are anomalous and in need of containment themselves. But for now, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Does 049 ever question any of the technology that is presented in front of him? It, not he. All anomalies are its. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols. It must be highly both confused and curious of the machines it's seeing. Yes, that was true for a point, but 049 has been in Foundation custody for a while and has become accustomed to what we're working with. In fact, if you look into the game SCP Fragmented Minds by friends of the channel HST Studios, you will see that 049 is working on the Mars SCP Foundation base and has access to some highly advanced tech. If you look at a completely perfect drawing of SCP-096, will it still attack you? It, Rooster, not he, it. All anomalies are objects. Get it right. Furthermore, no, artistic representations do not count. Doesn't matter how perfect the picture drawing is, a drawing will not activate 096. Intern Songbird, thank you for donating again to say. The Wanderers Library is also supporting the Foundation regarding the Council. Dr. Sherman, follow-up question regarding the Fae folk. Are there any stories regarding Slavic Fae? I wonder. So if I go into the database, so here's what I would do. I would first, let me do a little bit of wiki tomfoolery. So first, on the SCP database, in the top right corner, I would go to the search button. Then, I would filter by tags, and I would type in fairy, isolating pages tagged as fairy. Then, I would start by typing in Slav. Now that's slaves, that's slaves, that's slaves. Ooh, yeah, a lot of slaves in the fairy lore. Let me go with Slavic. It looks like no mentions there. Can we go back to search? Can we refresh the search? Let's try that again. Fairy and Slavic. So, a fellow scholar, the Climb, his mighty snail lordship, Shubra, SCP-4000. It seems there are 100 pages that are tagged with fairy that include the word Slavic in one way or another. That is where I would start my search. Best of luck. Also, I hope that even if you are not searching for Slavic Feyfolk, you are still paying attention to that process, because that is how I search for things on the database. If you need to find something on the SCP database, search like me. You'll be just as good at finding things as I am. Learn the way. Intern Jax, thank you for sending a star to the chat. Promoting them to a 5-star team again. Congratulations, Containment Hazard Assessment Team, on being a 5-star team. Gamer Alex, thank you for donating again to say, the Resistance has very many Millennium items. Alright, good to know. I would very much like to contain those when all is said and done. Anomalous objects should be contained. So if once this is all said and done, we can get those locked up, that'd be great. Just a Factory, we are currently 67 minutes into this stream with 23 minutes remaining. I just got the hood. Looking good, intern draws. Looking good. Intern Hunter Mark, take a look at the stream chat and look at how many green robes you have brought into the world. Congratulations on your efforts. There's a Scientology speedrunning SCP. You are correct, Intern Dragon. There is, in fact, an SCP about Scientology speedrunning. It was part of the sports contest, even. Which means that the SCP community considers Scientology speedrunning to be a sport. Intern Morris, welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. I've been wondering about this. How do you start SCP? Would you talk about random SCP, talk about Mobile Task Force, scientists, or O5 stories, read the wiki guide, explain the Foundation works, etc.? Are you asking me how I would get someone into SCP if they knew nothing about it? What I would do first is I would try to find SCP stories that are matching their interests. If I know people are a fan of scary stories, I would send them some scary SCPs. If I know they like science fiction, I'd aim for some science fiction ones. If I think they liked meta bullshit articles, I would send them some meta bullshit articles. Use their tastes to hook them like fish. Why did you sound Russian for a second? Intern games. Sometimes I slip in and out of accents for funsies, unintentionally. We must bait these councilmen like sharks so we can contain them. Hey, intern Ninja Drew, be careful with that. Be careful with that. If you're baiting them like sharks, you might also bait the shark punching center into this fight. And that's not going to be helpful to us unless the council has sharks. Then it would actually be very useful. Affleck, thank you for donating again to say, meanwhile, in Australia's chat, is your chat upside down? Oh, you meanwhile in Australia, the chat. Now everyone's opposite dayed. I see. Stormy's Corner, welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site 42. We appreciate your newly minted membership and service. I should probably get a mint green hood. Can I use your face or Charlie or Charlemagne? Feel free to use myself or the pets of interest as a profile pic if you want to, along with your green hood. We can throw a bunch of Dr. Shermans at them. That could be funny. Let me give you a good pose. There you go. You can screen cap that. How do you become a member? Intern Lee, there is a membership join button on the channel page. You go to a channels page on YouTube, and there should be a join membership button. 100 stars, thank you for sending sparkles to the chat. I'm sure they appreciate having to clean up yet another glitter bomb. Rebel Commander, thank you for your 12 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your year of membership and service. Just arriving, how is everything going? Sorry I'm late. Well, you're not punctual, but that's not the end of the world. I hope you were doing good work. The council containment protocols are ramping up quite nicely. We had a nice briefing about SCP-8999 that you can go back and watch. Jinx Jax, thank you for sending a star to the chat. You have reset them to a 1-star team. But they at least have another prestige rank. But they are a 1-star chat for now. Unrelated to the current conversation, but do you know Dacia? They are a theorist that might be able to help with finding out what the council wants. Intern Lymphius. I don't know if you were here at the beginning of stream, but Dacia was literally in our chat just earlier today. Dacia and I are well familiar with each other. We are acquaintances. Maybe would share a fist bump if we were to meet in person. So we don't know each other well, but we are well familiar at least. And I do believe back then, Dacia was talking about helping us with the council thing, if I'm remembering the conversation from earlier. But that was over an hour ago, so I might be misremembering. We want Hello Kitty Itachi. Yes, Council Member Kojiro, I do understand that you council members are striving for some sort of Hello Kitty Itachi cosplay from your council overlord, King Chris. So my question for you is, what are the terms with which you will receive that? How can we accomplish that so maybe it leads to the quelling of your ranks and the containment of the council? If we can get you this, Hello Kitty Itachi, would you then stop spreading the council? I'm sorry for my tardiness causing my confusion about not knowing Dutch's presence being here earlier. Oh, intern Lymphius, no big problem at all. We all come at different times and places. But, reminder, if you do want to be one of the punctual members of stream who get a shout out at the start of each stream, you can hit the YouTube alert bell to see when we go live, because it's a different time every day, so you never know. But if you hit the bell, you will know. And because the bell is sometimes unreliable, thanks YouTube, you can also join the Site42 Discord server, which has a YouTube live alert ping roll that I ping at the start of every stream, so you are more likely to get the ping. Your options are there. Do you have any specific advice for people who want to write new SCP pages? Intern Kinsey, I recommend you look on this channel for a video called SCP Writing Tips from SCP Writers. It is a compilation of writing tips I have given in the past, some of which I got through discussions with SCP authors. Furthermore, on the SCP database itself, if you go to the front page, then in the sidebar, you will see the guide for newcomers. Join this site, contribute, frequently asked questions universe hub. This has a bevy of useful information for learning about how to write SCPs. And then over here on the side, you'll see resources. Guides and essays and resources is a ton of useful learning tools for becoming a better SCP author. By going through those, you will learn some great information getting you there. Will you ever do more horizontal videos? They are better than vertical videos. A new philosopher. When it comes to video orientation, obviously coming from TikTok as a start, I am much more comfortable with the aspect ratio in vertical. But for longer form videos, I am working on a system to get horizontal videos as well, so we can do both. But, especially for streaming, the YouTube algorithm for Shorts feed is just so much better. An average Site42 stream in vertical has about 50 to 100 viewers. The average horizontal stream has about 5 to 25. The algorithms are just so different, and so I'm gonna go where the people are. I'm gonna bring them SCP goodness. By the way, Site42 staff, we have 10 minutes remaining in stream. 10-minute warning for the end of stream. Red equals King Chris, green equals SCP, blue equals Councilmember Olive. Blue is quote-unquote the Resistance, who the SCP Foundation is perfectly fine with working with in order to contain the Council. Dr. Sherman, if you made a qualified fighter ring, SCP-662, would the butler have skills enough to have the request of sparring to be useful to the fighter? Or would the butler deny? So, I do not believe that the knowledge or skills of the ringer have an effect on the bell off the top of my head. I think the butler has the skills the butler has, right? I will certainly go review the document. I haven't read 662 in ages. Soft chime is heard. Butler, Mr. Deeds, line of sight. Addressing the bell by title and last name. Reasonable request will result in satisfaction. Limits to what he can do. I hate when they are unprofessional and they give the anomalies pronouns. It's an it. There's nothing about the limits of Mr. Deeds' skills being related to what the ringer is capable of. So, that being said, it does seem like Mr. Deeds does have some combat skill. Let me check the L1 document. That's an interview. I would say that, Mr. Deeds can do a certain amount of combat, but probably not any crazy strong combat. It would be nice to have streams on Twitch, or at least a horizontal stream as well, once your station is capable of it. Yes, Chester Factory, once I get my tech capable of doing multi-streaming, that would be very nice to have horizontal, vertical, and Twitch. And TikTok, I mean. Get it all in there. The one problem I have is I would feel bad for a ununified chat. I would like to be able to interact with everybody there, so that's one thing I'm curious about is the tech to merge the chats, that way we could all interact. Or at least I could see what everyone's saying. Terragal, thank you for your first donation of... no, not your first donation. Thank you for donating again. Sorry. Doctor, I can feed 999. Promise I will give it a bag of sugar, causing it to bounce off the walls at high velocity again. Are you sure you learned your lesson? Are you sure? Because if you make that mistake again, the consequences will be quite dire. I will leave the council if Dr. Sherman agrees to answer an SCP question from me. Well, on your honor, Councilmember Yo0, this is your opportunity to prove yourself. What's your question? And we'll see if you honor your agreements or not. Dr. Sherman, help. It may not have downloaded the Mallow app. Is there a protocol? Intern yesteryear, you made a mistake, and now you're going to suffer for it. So my question is, how would the Foundation contain anime/manga characters Madara from Naruto? Oh, isn't Madara a giant world ending, etc., etc.? Alright, I am... I can't really remember this thing's abilities, and it has a lot of them, and it's deleting things from reality, if I remember correctly. We would probably need to put the entity inside of an alternate universe where it couldn't get to us, similar to how the Scarlet King is contained. If we can banish it, then it's not our problem anymore. That's about the best we can do to maintain normalcy. There you go. Now let's see if Yo Zero honors their commitments. Thanks, I'm going to be back. I got to change my PFP. We'll look forward to seeing you, although you've only got 4 minutes left in this stream before the outro, so make it snappy, Yo Zero. We look forward to seeing what you change to. Sleepless Songbird, thank you for donating again to say. Dr. Sherman, do you have any anomalous staff members of note, and what are their abilities? Well, here at Site 42, we have a bevy of anomalous staff members. We are somewhat... I'd say we're moderately kind to them compared to some sites who are a little stricter. Now, obviously, if you ask the AEED, those hippies, then we crack down a lot harder than a lot of sites. But it's all about balance in my mind. I don't have a roster on hand. And that should have fixed the audio sync for the last 3 minutes of stream. Ah, there is a councilless Yo Zero. Welcome out of the council, intern Yo Zero. Good to have you aboard and out of that anomalous cult. Amber, thank you for sending a floating heart to the chat. I'm sure they feel the love. Stormy, thank you for donating again to say, Dr. Sherman, which SCP smells the most foul? The worst smelling SCP. Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, already you can just start with SCP-173 because it's constantly leaking substance of poop and blood. 37.5 pounds of poop and blood every day come out of SCP-173, the sculpture. A lot of people remember the blinking and the neck snapping. They don't remember the poop blood. Oh, wait a minute. SCP-4032 is codename Deadly Fart Berries. And they are, well, like the name says. So yeah, I'm gonna guess that one. It farts you to death. The berries that fart you to death are probably the worst smell. SCP-4032, Deadly Fart Berries. Kakiro Miro, thank you for sending 10 sparkles to the David Azar Assessment team, and then Riley for sending another sparkle. You guys have to clean up 11 glitter bombs now. Ugh. Have fun with that mess. Anton, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member literally at the last minute. Grab yourself some mixed berries that are not deadly fart berries on your way past the commissary. Dr. Knight from Precog here with the following report on the progress of the council crackdown. Inconceivable Yellow Fury. Report concluded. Ah, I like your moxie, Anton. Keep it up, Dr. Knight. Love to see some energy in our containment efforts. Whoever said that SCP-666.5-J, codename The Roaring Fires of Hell, is also possibly a contender for the worst smell of an SCP? Intern Nolono, yes, you are correct. SCP-666.5-J is another container for the worst smelling SCP. But Site-42 staff, we have made it to the end of today's stream. And as we do, at the end of every stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. But of course, I'm not going to tell you that my favorites are the ones I personally wrote. That would be sheer narcissism. But if you want to read the SCPs I wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site-42 Hub on the SCP database. There you can read the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects too. And while you're on my author page, one tab over, you'll find a list of links. Links that people ask about all the time in my chat. But then when I tell them where the links are, they just goes right over their head, which is so sad for them. But not for you, chat. You're clever. You'll find those links. And when you do, you'll also have the option to become a Site-42 Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You can do a Ko-Fi or a YouTube Super Chat to donate to us one at a time. Either way, direct donations are the most generous and quickest way to help out the Site-42 staff. That is myself, Desk, our moderator, Agent Goose, our animal wrangler, the pets of interest, as well as Synthetic Alien, our editor, and our Discord moderators. You are helping out our staff to keep the lights on, to fund our field missions and projects, and we thank you for your service. And if you're part of the Broke Gang and you cannot donate, do not despair. We understand starving artists here in this arts community. And you can still help us out by donating your time and effort as a member of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, make memes, shitposts, edits, out-of-context compilations, fan art, you are doing that for us at Site-42, but also for the SCP projects we support. The SCP Wiki and its authors and artists. The SCP filmmakers, game devs, animators, merch makers, podcasters. And a reminder, tomorrow's stream subject is an SCP film project by friends of the channel Dark Math Films that is trying to kickstart episode 2 of their live-action SCP project. We will be having it as our stream subject tomorrow, and then throwing to their Kickstarter kickoff stream. So be ready to donate your time, effort, and funds if you have them to that Kickstarter tomorrow. We thank you for your service, Site-42 staff. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCP in no particular order. SCP-8999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it is a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3999304300 registration Spooky-J 50151755330 and content warning on the last one, it's a rough read. You saw nothing there. But what you did see is Site-42 staff, this has been another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well. Keep containing the council. And as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged, oh I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it, and the darkness inside you makes you feel so small. But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, oh, like a rainbow. The credit song is True Colors by Cyndi Lauper or Phil Collins, your choice. Be safe, be well, Site-42 staff, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you on the next video or stream. Oh, Ravehaven, thank you for your very generous, literally last-second donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some tacos on the way past the commissary. Yes, you are late. You are literally at the very last second. Thank you for your generosity. Go watch the